is Washington unintentionally forcing a geopolitical reset in its own backyard? After U.S. military action against Venezuela, China has stepped forward with an unusually direct warning, framing the crisis not as law enforcement, but as a violation of sovereignty that could reshape alliances across Latin America. At a high-stakes press briefing in Beijing, China laid out its position at the United Nations, making it clear that force will only deepen instability, not resolve it.
Yesterday, the UN Security Council convened an emergency meeting on the U.S. military strikes against Venezuela. In his remarks, the Chinese representative emphasized that military means are not the way to resolve problems, and that the abuse of force will only lead to greater crises. China firmly supports the Venezuelan government and people in safeguarding their sovereignty, security, and legitimate rights and interests.
Beijing's language sharpens further when addressing Washington directly, rejecting the idea that any power can impose itself as global enforcer, a message closely aligned with President Xi Jinping's broader vision of multipolar order.
No country can act as an international police officer, and no country can claim to be a world judge.
China is now explicitly extending its political umbrella over the region, portraying Latin America and the Caribbean as a collective zone that must be protected from outside interference.
China firmly supports the Venezuelan government and people in safeguarding their sovereignty, security, and legitimate rights and interests. China is ready to cooperate with regional countries and the international community to jointly safeguard peace and stability in Latin America and the Caribbean.
From Caracas to the UN Security Council, Beijing is no longer speaking cautiously. It is openly challenging U.S. authority, rallying regional states under the language of sovereignty and peace. What began as an American operation in Venezuela may now be triggering something far larger: the outlines of a new alignment in Latin America, with China positioning itself as the counterweight Washington never expected.